Title: The Ghost. Once upon a time in a new neighborhood, there was a little boy named Obinna, and there was a young lady named Ada. But children prefer to attach Aunty to Ada's name as a sign of respect. Obinna would come to play with his friends in Aunty Ada's compound, and when he saw her, he greeted her like the other kids and gave her candy. Aunty Ada would always accept it and thank him. Curiosity got the better of her one day, and she asked Obinna why he kept offering her candy. Obinna smiled and said, "Aunty Ada, I like you, and that's why I'm always sharing my sweets with you." Aunty Ada asked him where he got the candy, and he replied, "My auntie owns a shop, and she gives me some to share with my friends, including you. You're my special friend." Aunty Ada smiled and left him to play. One day, after he gave Aunty Ada candy, Aunty Ada asked what he'd like her to buy for him on her way back from work. "Aunty Ada, please buy me a banana. I haven't had one in a long time," he said. Aunty Ada couldn't help but wonder why he wore the same clothes every day, even though they were always clean. But she never asked about it. Instead, she made sure to buy him some bananas at least twice a week. One rainy day, while Obinna was playing with his friends, they all sought shelter indoors. But Obinna remained on Aunty Ada's veranda, waiting for the rain to stop. When she asked why he didn't go home, he replied, "There's no one at home. If I go home, I'll just be waiting outside." Aunty Ada invited him into her room to watch cartoons and keep him warm. He was delighted, and Aunty Ada soon drifted off to sleep. When she woke up, he had disappeared, but Aunty Ada's room was undisturbed. Gradually, the little boy, Obinna, and Aunty Ada became good friends. Aunty Ada couldn't help but notice that he always wore the same clothes. When she mentioned wanting to meet his auntie, he would change the topic. One night, Aunty Ada decided to follow him. Aunty Ada trailed Obinna to the road that led to his house and saw him stop at a shop. He gazed at it for a while before running down the street. She couldn't go further and returned home, realizing that Obinna's street was far from hers. It worried her that he was going home alone at p.m. She asked the kids in her compound about Obinna, but to her surprise, no one knew much about him. "He came to play in the small playground beside our compound like the other children," the children replied. A few days later, Aunty Ada visited the shop where Obinna had stopped. She bought bread and tea and asked the shopkeeper about Obinna. The shopkeeper was taken aback and asked, "Which Obinna?" Aunty Ada introduced herself and explained that Obinna played with the other kids in her compound. The shopkeeper looked at Aunty Ada with a sad expression and said, "You can see Obinna?" She nodded and added, "Even the other kids can see him." With tears in the shopkeeper's eyes, she admitted, "Obinna is dead. I am his aunt," she said. Aunty Ada sat down with the shopkeeper and showed the shopkeeper one of Obinna's favorite candies. The shopkeeper began crying, explaining that Obinna was holding that candy on the day a drunk driver struck him while he was on his way home from the playground. Obinna had come for a long vacation, and his spirit had stayed with his aunt, who he loved dearly. Obinna's family blamed her for his death. After that day, Aunty Ada never saw Obinna again. He was a dear friend, and she missed his sweet gestures. The end. Questions. Why did Obinna offers candy to Aunty Ada every day? What made Aunty Ada curious about Obinna's actions? Why did Obinna always wear the same clothes? Why did Obinna refuse to go home when it rained? What did the shopkeeper reveal about Obinna to Aunty Ada? How did Aunty Ada feel when she realized she had been interacting with a spirit? Moral lessons. The importance of empathy and kindness. Aunty Ada's willingness to buy bananas and offer shelter during the rain showed kindness and empathy towards the little boy. The power of communication. Communication with the shopkeeper uncovered the truth about Obinna's situation, emphasizing the importance of talking to others to gain a deeper understanding of people and their circumstances. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please turn on the notification bell to get notified anytime I upload a new video. Stay blessed until I come your way again. Bye.